And Democrats are celebrating a successful November election, regaining some momentum after a rough 12 months on the national stage. Sweeping victories in Virginia and key gains in other local and state legislative races have Democrats hoping for even bigger wins in next year's midterm election. Several of the newly elected Democrats are first-time politicians, and they say their wins show that Americans are rejecting President Trump.
Is that the case? Well, Melissa and I asked former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown, all right, going forward, Tuesday's election results, are they a one-off or do they actually show a pathway for victory for Democrats?
Clearly a pathway for Democrats' return. It's patently clear that if you can resurrect the numbers that Obama was able to turn out, you can win an election after election. That's what occurred in New Jersey and in Virginia. And it was because Democrats did not speak evil of each other.
Well, but I want to point out, I mean, these are wins in Virginia and New Jersey. This is, I don't want to, this is a big deal, but I don't want to rain on their parade, but these are Democrats.
Oh, go ahead, rain on his parade.
Every state official in Virginia is a Democrat. It's not that crazy that a Democrat won for governor, but I think one of the most important things is you saw different shades of blue, right? The Democrat who won governor is a little more moderate, and then you saw folks who are sort of more progressive also winning. So the idea being, Democrats, if they can, try to keep all those balls in the air and keep all those people happy. Don't have purity tests.
There's one more thing you observed, and that is Trump's operation has not grown one iota. Whatever the numbers were for Trump against Hillary in Virginia, that's all Gillespie got. The other guy exceeded what Obama got, i.e., when he won the governorship. In addition thereto, he ran with an African-American as his candidate for lieutenant governor, which is what, in fact,
so are you saying that it's A, do old-time politics rather than the Bernie brand, and B, just figure that Donald Trump is peaked, you're not going to move him, just go for your own number?
But make sure he remains peaked by his horrible conduct, and you need to remind people of that horrible conduct, and that's what they did. In New Jersey, they did it against Christie. And clearly, it was an anti-Christie vote in New Jersey, and that's a switch,
I don't know.
Melissa. That's a switch. That was a Republican governor giving it up to a Democratic governor.
But a Republican governor with 15% approval ratings. I mean,
I think this debate's going to go on for a while, back and forth.
But
glass half full, glass half empty. But even a glass there.
We've consistently said that Democrats need to do something more than just we're not Trump, and I don't know if that's necessarily true.
I disagree with you where it works. Don't be Trump. But any other place, do whatever you need to do to get there and leave Bernie Sanders at home.
Okay, that's an interesting point, leave Bernie Sanders at home. He seems to be saying over and over again, Trump is the target, don't go fighting with each other between the liberal and the ultra-liberal wing.
Yeah, he does seem to be saying that, but I'm not sure that that is going to be the case. I mean, there's still many months between now and next year's midterm primaries and general elections, and Democrats, especially with the new Donna Brazile book, are still suffering from a lot of internal discussion, let's say generously, and debate over exactly how to go.
And meanwhile, others say, listen, stop fighting with each other and concentrate on President Trump.
New numbers in the tight race to replace Governor Brown next year. According to a new LA Times poll, Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom is leading the field. He's ahead of fellow Democrat and former LA Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa by 10 points. Third on the list is Republican Assemblyman Travis Allen of Huntington Beach with 15%.
That's right. So Melissa and I asked former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown, who seems to have a friend in every race and a couple in this one, if Gavin Newsom is just going to win it all with a number like that.
No, I think the most recent poll done by the Los Angeles Times and some other people online ended up with Gavin at 31 and Villaraigosa at 21.
The former mayor of Los Angeles.
Absolutely. And that almost automatically means Villaraigosa's vote was not in the polling. Online polling doesn't include the kind of people that Villaraigosa is going to try to get. John Chung moved up to 12, and only Gavin moved down slightly. That's not a good sign. So the Gavin people better retool and start marketing a new product, because the product they've been living with for the last 2.5 years is getting shop worn.
I have to say, he's been a little flat at these candidate forums where he's going head-to-head against other candidates. He probably needs a little bit of a zhuzhing, as they say. But having said that, the prospect of a Dem-on-Dem general election, which would happen if these are the two main vote getters, I think is going to be really tough for the party. It's going to be a lot of infighting, a lot of money they don't want to spend. So if for the Democratic Party, they have to be trying to figure out what can they do to try and
Does the Democratic Party even
this.
have a say in something like this, Mayor Brown?
Not really. California is all blue. California is all Democratic. Republicans following Arnold's leadership said you get the top two. You don't get two different party persons. And lo and behold, you're going to have the internecine warfare in the runoff rather than in the primary.
Gavin's got a fight on his hands.
And he would love to avoid it being a Democrat who is his opponent. He would prefer to have a Republican as his opponent. If he gets a Democrat as a component, you really may have a serious problem for my friend and my appointee, Gavin Newsom.
You know, interesting, if the only way to get a Republican in the runoff is to have one Republican in the race, because they have a certain percentage of the vote, 25 to 31%. If they get one, then they can get the second place showing. If they have 2, 3, or 4, which they have now, they have 2, that splits it.
That's right. So if you're Villaraigosa, you want John Cox and to stay in the race, and maybe we even want some other Republicans to jump in to try and dilute that vote so that you can be, you know, that second person is going to be in that general.
And then try to take all the Democrats and be a Republican alternative, or at least favorable enough with the Republicans to make up the difference. That's what's going to make it a race.